What if I told you I've done multi-million-dollar deals using almost none of my own money? My name is David. Last year, my brother and I did $14 million. In the 4 years prior, I did roughly $30 million in ground-up development, townhouses, subdivisions, apartments, and single-family homes. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 powerful ways to finance your real estate that most people never even consider. And I'm going to go through the obvious ones because people talk about real estate and buying and selling real estate using OPM, but they often ignore the fact that real estate is one of the best ways to leverage other people's money, even if it's the conventional ways of doing it. And stick with me all the way to the end of this video because the last one is my favorite, and it's the #1 tool of leverage that I have used to make millions of dollars in ground-up new construction development. Number 1, PML, private money lenders. A private money lender is simply someone who lends money on a project and isn't associated with any institution. Your mother could be a private money lender. Your father could be a private money lender. Your friends could be a private money lender. I would say this is based on your track record and your level of credibility, but you could probably find someone in your network, some wealthy person who is looking to invest money that they're sitting on that's doing nothing for them. You offer them 10% to 20% on their money, and they will be happy to partner up with you. If you're newer to this arena, if you're maybe an investor who's just getting started in ground up, or you're a complete newbie who wants to flip his first house, what I would recommend when you go to a private money lender, offer them a percentage of the project. Maybe you can't just give them 10% on their money, but you can make them a 50% partner. Get 3 or 4 of those under your belt. And once you have a track record, then you can go to number 2, hard money. Hard money is simply a Google search away. You can go on Google right now, punch in hard money, and you're going to get 50 of them that pop up, 10 of them that'll lend in your area. They're kind of cockroaches. They charge very high interest rates. It's not a very nice thing for me to say, but they are going to charge high interest rates, but their parameters, their threshold to get involved with a project is very low. Number 1, they're going to want to see some level of track record, maybe that you've done 2 or 3 flips. Number 2, they're going to want a 680 credit score or better. And then they're going to expect you to put some percentage of skin in the game, whether it's 10% or 20%, but you're still leveraging their money for 80 or 90% of your project. So you're still using other people's money. Leverage is your friend in real estate. And this is my second favorite way, bank money. You can leverage bank money if your real estate deal is good enough. What I teach is ground up development because I understand that there's much higher leverage in ground up development. You could spend a lot of time trying to get a bank to finance your renovation project, and in all likelihood, they're not going to have much, if any, interest in doing it. Banks, on the other hand, especially small and mid-sized banks, love real estate projects. Multifamily is, some of them have entire multifamily divisions where all they do is fund ground up multifamily construction. Other banks are going to give you the money to fund a spec house, give you the money to fund a duplex. But the bank is the #1 way to leverage other people's money besides the very last reason, which we're about to get to. Number 4, JV, joint ventures. So this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. If you go to a private money lender, maybe there's someone in your network, someone that you go to church with, who does lend money on projects, and they charge 12% on their money, but you're just getting started, you're probably going to have to do a joint venture deal with them. So they're a private money lender who's only willing to enter into an agreement with you because you're a beginner, because they want to see some level of track record. They want to monitor how the funds are being used. So partner up with them. Partner up with them. I know a girl who partnered up with a private money lender. She did 5 deals, gave him 50% for the first 5 deals. Now she makes $1 million a year, and she has her choice of lenders, whether she goes to a bank, she does ground up new construction. She can go to a bank, she can go to hard money. Her options are pretty limitless now because she's making so much money and because she got the track record by doing the joint venture. Number 5, which is my favorite way to use other people's money, seller finance. Seller finance is going to be your secret weapon when it comes to ground up development projects. When you can find a seller who wants to participate in the deal, it gives you so many more options than if you just bought the land outright, because you can partner up with the seller. And if they're willing to finance the property to you, well, your construction loan can take first priority position on the land, meaning it can be the security for your construction. Your seller financing can take second position, and you're going to pay them off slowly. For example, I had a 54-acre piece of property that I bought, and we had to spend about $150,000 in engineering on it. But what the deal that I worked out with the seller was, once we got the engineering done, we phased it out. We could see, okay, here's phase 1. It was 54 acres. It was split into 5 phases. And then he released phase one of the property. I think it was 13 acres. And then my bank was able to take first position for the construction loan. Because phase one of the property was worth almost $800,000, my bank treated that as my skin in the game towards the construction loan, which meant I didn't have to put any money in the deal. Seller financing is the ultimate weapon to a developer, because if you find a landowner, you may even be able to get them to be an investor in your project, so they are financing the property to you and they're participating as an investor in the project. To recap, private money lenders, go to your church, find somebody. There's most likely someone you know who will be a private money lender. Hard money, once you have a little bit of a track record, go to these guys. They're going to charge you a bunch of money to loan. They will charge you money on the loans. It's a little bit high, but it's still a good option. Banks, once you have the track record, once you've done the projects, this is always going to be your best friend when it comes to ground up for your construction loan. Joint ventures, this is how you get started. And seller financing, this is how you really leverage someone else's asset to use their asset as your down payment for your construction funds. If this sounds interesting to you and you want some help with any of the things I just talked about in this video, that's no problem. There is a link in the description to work with me. Schedule a call. We can have a conversation. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.